Hello and welcome everybody. I am your humble host Gavin the Kitty, and today we are streaming Kid Icarus, an Angel Land story. It might be misspelled for some of you. I don't know how I fucked that up. It'll be fixed in post. I promise. Let me get the volume on for the game. So Kid Icarus is like Metroid in a lot of ways. Kid Icarus is one of those NES games where it launched alongside Metroid. Many NES games did this, especially at Nintendo. Things like Mario Bros. And Ice Climbers released around the same time, and they were basically the same idea, taken in drastically different directions. In this case, Metroid and Kid Icarus were both two games that were taken in drastically different directions with the same general premise of a game where you have to explore in 2D. This is something that many might call a Metroidvania in terms of its genre. However, that's not necessarily 100% accurate. So, but, I mean, it is still a very good sequel series to Metroid. In fact, I'd say it's one of the best NES titles around, but many don't give it the time of day because of the lack of backgrounds in the first level, the simplistic music, and the simplistic graphics. But they are pleasing to the eye. I think it has a very cute charm to it that a lot of people don't really quite understand. So that's what I'm here to do today, is to explain how this is like Metroid, why this is such a good series, and what exactly happened to it. So let's first start with the lore, because I love me some lore, and Kid Icarus has some really fun lore. So, with the first Kid Icarus, the angels have been frozen by the evil witch, frozen in stone by the evil witch, Medusa. Sorry. This game does require a lot of focus at times. So, all of the angels have been frozen. So you, Pit, who was away at the time, was knocked all the way down to the netherworld, and you have to get all the way back up to heaven in order to save Palutena from Medusa and rescue all the angels. I'll be showcasing how to do that in just a bit. That right there is a Grim Reaper. He's one of the most deadly enemies in the game. And that is why we will be doing rewinds. Up there is a goblet of red wine. For those who don't know what a goblet is, or are too young, it's basically a wine glass, except made of metal. You can escape them by going indoors. You got a hammer. Let's see. Hello there. Don't know how to pronounce that. Hello there, February. Hello. Saurus Rex 69. No. We're not. I'm not dealing with it today. Hello, 0XL. Hello, Tyler. Hello, Andre. Oh, Kitty Cat 31. Okay, thank you for letting me know that. Well, hello, welcome. Hello, Versington. Anyways, getting back to Kid Icarus. I'm not going to have a whole lot of time to focus on the chat, but the little mini Reapers are actually called Rebettes. Thank you. I did not know what they were called before that. I don't really focus on a lot of the enemy names. I just really like the art style of the series. So what got me into the series, like many who really like Uprising, I actually got into this series by playing Smash Brothers, specifically Brawl, when it was brand new, and finding Kid Icarus on the roster. I didn't know who it was. I just really liked the music, and I thought he looked really cool. And then I unlocked his NES game on the Masterpiece section, of Brawl, and I played it for a little bit until the timer ran out, and I didn't stop. And I thought it was really cool and really fun. And that's basically my history with this series. It wasn't until I later on got a Wii that I actually tried playing it, and I didn't understand it, so I didn't really continue it. I later on started to understand it after watching a playthrough of it here on YouTube, and my goal is for at least one person in the audience to play this game and understand it, because it is a hard game for heads to wrap around. It really is. Hello. What? I can't say that. YM the Bat. And hello, Sebastian the Batwolf. It's kind of hard to play the game and also read the chat at the same time because there's always a lot going on. I probably should have asked somebody to co-host with me. But that's quite alright. Pit, why are you not turning around there? That's why you're not. Because I'm hitting the D-pad a little too fast. So I'm playing this on the Nintendo Switch Online service because I would like to promote not pirating this game, especially when it's readily available like this. Especially to show you that there is actually quite a good deal in the Switch Online service with Kid Icarus and Metroid alone, so... I did want to tackle Metroid Prime, however, I cannot get my hands on a physical copy. At least not yet. I have it for the GameCube and whatnot, and I'd love to tackle it, but I would prefer to tackle the remaster, just because it looks better and it'd be a better viewing experience for all of you. Especially because I love me some Metroid. I see you're playing Pit's Adventure XD, Sid Foxino. Hello, Gavin the Batwolf. Hello, Caden the Bat Fox. Hello, Lapzinkton. And hello, Xavier. Welcome. I'm glad everybody is showing up. So, hearts are currency. Let me get into some of the gameplay elements here. So, hearts are currency. Those rooms, some of them are shops, and that is why I'm going into them, is hoping for a shop. We can get things like wings that'll help us fly, because Pit on his own cannot fly. They'll allow him to hover down from places. Pit is the one angel who cannot fly, which I think is a little funny. He needs Palutena's magic to fly, but with Palutena captured, he cannot, you know, easily just fly up there and give her the old what's for. He's got to kind of earn that title. And I think it's really cute. I think that's a cute idea. An angel that can't fly. Hello, Revolta. Welcome. Be sure, guys, if you could, please drop a like and subscribe. That's all I ask, and I think that's the one promotion I'm going to do today. Anyways, so, okay, I'm trying to remember what all these do. So, I can't afford any of them. This extends my life bar. This one helps me float downwards, and I think that one's protection. But I can't afford anything yet. Essentially, like I said, it's about exploration, and sometimes that exploration can take you to some pretty strange places. Wrapping around from one side of the screen to the other was essentially a way to keep the arcade influence, because this was made by, I think it was made by the same team that made Metroid. If not, it had a lot of the same people working on it, I know that much. Alright, here's another challenge room. So the goal in challenge rooms is to get hearts. They'll always drop big hearts, or at least half of a big heart. And what we're going to want to do is, after this stage, I believe we're coming up on the boss of the underworld. Hello, Vernon, Wiley, and Casey. Welcome. If some of my mods could stick around and monitor chat for me, that would be lovely. Might see if Casey would like to help monitor the chat for me. Because she's rather quick on that. Oh, she's quick on that. Of course, her holding her own streams, it really does help. Because she can tell a troll from a person just trying to harass. Hello, March and CJ the Leopard. There we go. We're almost at 400. Ooh, okay. So I am going to go ahead and grab... Thank you very much. So that's going to be one of the necessary items to conquer this game. I guess that one was a life refill, not a... See, because I don't mind running with low health in this game. Actually, I kind of like the challenge. Especially because there are places where we can get it... Well, there are places where we can get it a little bit more powered up. It was just Brent sneezing, so bless him. Oh boy. Since there's blocks on the other side here, I actually cannot go through here. It'll stop me. Hello, Shieldy. Hey everybody, Cool Games says Wacky the Weasel, welcome. I'm glad you like it, and hello Highlander. How you doing? So, getting back to Kid Icarus here. Of course, I am going to be the one having a... I'm going to be struggling here a little bit for commentary. I'm sure I will be. It was a struggle to find art pieces for the thumbnail today, so I actually did the background myself. I'm actually really proud of the way that turned out. It just looks really pretty. It matched with the original NES art. I think the NES art is actually some of the best Kid Icarus art. I think that if they would have stuck with that design of the tiny little dot pupils and cute little... I just think it's a cute design. I really like it. So... Hello, Alejandro, Tristan, and Ronnie. Welcome. We are up to... I need to lure these guys. I need to lure these guys away. So the enemies have a lot more maneuverability than you, especially at the start of the game, where they love to throw the Reapers at you for little reason. I actually think it's one of the shortcomings of this game, because the Reapers are relentless, and the game actually gets easier the longer you play it. If you ever played Uprising, I know that game's got a more in-depth story and a lot of humor. It's here in the NES game as well, it's just not as prominent. Okay. By the way, when the screen scrolls up, I cannot go back down. Glad you came, Pit. Here, take this. This is very valuable. This is going to power up our shot. Of course. There are rooms that'll help you, which is nice. It's actually the one thing I like about this game is the one thing I really like about this game is that while the early game doesn't seem to like That's why I didn't want to use it, because it uses up the feather. Hello, Azel, Dimitri, Chandler, and Sesquel. I hope you guys have more to say than hi. Alright. Having the powered up shot, though, is really nice, because pitch shots, I don't think, ever go all the way across the screen until near the end of the game. This is the last stage in the underworld, which is nice, because I don't want to be listening to the same track the entire game. Many kids who grew up with this game probably don't even realize its sister game was Metroid. It was one of the packs with a password being its big feature. I know Zelda, I think, was out on the Famicom at least. There was a save system on the Famicom Disk System version. The music there is also a little bit richer, which is nice. I actually really like that. Hello, Rue the Rabbit! What is going on with me? Not a whole lot. I'm playing Kid Icarus. My birthday's in 3 days, and I just kind of wanted a relaxing time with a game I really love. I wanted to introduce something new to everybody. Especially because I've got a video that's going to be ready by, I think the 27th. All about why video game lore is important. So. Hello, the Wander? Hello, welcome. I hope everybody in chat's doing well today. I, myself, am doing okay. Could be a little better, but you know. I'm surviving. I'm making a living. I still really like the way the thumbnail turned out today, and if you guys did too, like, yeah, share it around. I'm gonna post it on the Twitter later today, so. Like, on its own, because I think that it looks really nice. I think I'm also going to post it on the Telegram art group, because while it's not my own art, I do like it. And I did like how the background turned out, and I think I'm going to draw Pit in my own art style later today too, just to really showcase. Also, the other thing about Metroid is it's got a really harsh art direction, like it's like creepy and grimy, and this Kid Icarus has themes that you would think would make it dark and gritty and grimy. It's got the underworld and heaven and biblical figures from Greek mythology, and instead it goes for this cutesy cherub style that I think is really pretty. Hello Anubis fan, welcome. You guys could drop some likes, that would be great. Alright, let's see here. 350, 390, 10 away. You know, the thing about the shops is you can only enter them once. So, if you know what's in each shop, because it doesn't change from playthrough to playthrough, you can actually... Oh man, I'm just... barely not fast enough to get all of them. I am going to have a map for the Metroidvania sections of this game, because they are incredibly brutal. Hammer's good with me. I will take a hammer. We are up to 10 hammers. Hammers are very important in this game, because they'll allow us to break open cherubs and free them from Medusa's grasp. I think they're magic hammers, technically. So, how many in chat have actually tried Kid Icarus? Or beaten it? Because I know it's not many. I know Kid Icarus is one of those titles where not many have actually sat through and played it all the way through. I know it's one of those Nintendo games where a lot of people talk about it, specifically Uprising, or the 3DS Redux, which I thought was interesting. I have it. That's the version I beat, because it's technically a little easier. It actually runs a lot nicer than the original NES version, but I didn't want to showcase it because I wanted to showcase it through an official capturable means. I didn't want to actually... Like, I figured, okay, I could emulate the 3DS version, or I could do something kind of neat, show off the original, show off the interesting visuals. The harp has a limited time to get hammers, so you want to be kind of quick. I think this is the last Underworld one. We're coming pretty close to the Overlands, which is Earth. Ta-da. I haven't forgotten about... Of course, things are getting a little more expensive. I haven't forgotten about Virtual Boy Wario Land, or any of the Wario Land games. I will be tackling them, not to worry. I'll be going back to Mario and his rogues eventually. As well as doing that Mega Man playthrough I really want to do. It just might take me a second, because... Darned if I do, darned if I don't. So this is the point in the game where it's actually really important to understand the mechanics of the screen wrap, which is something that we don't really think of much today because most games aren't really arcade built like this. So if you find yourself a little stuck, remember to try the... Just try wrapping around to the other side of the screen. That was originally what had me so stuck on the one version. I'm like, but that's just the end of the screen. There couldn't be anything there. Because, you know, I had played Pac-Man, but Pac-Man's built very differently than Kid Icarus. Kid Icarus feels more like a modern title, which is why I compare it. Can you endure this harsh training? We talk about room tiles. Room tiles attack Link, but here they are going for Pit. I am using an official NES Online controller. It's basically a NES controller. You can feel the only difference is it's got R and L buttons for the for that little menu there for the system, and it's also got the sync button, and it's wireless. So we can pick one of the items. We're gonna want a bow. This will up our attack strength even more. Yeah, so in the pause menu, you can see a small little map, which isn't used in these vertical scrolling areas. We have our health, our strength, which is now at 2, and our total score. Trust me, by the time we're done with this game, Medusa's gonna be sorry. Alright. And that's why we don't stand still in Kid Icarus. Because things at... when you stand still in Kid Icarus, the game likes to go at you. Which is really fun. And now we've gotten a power-up. So there is a experience point. There's experience points in this game. I did not mention this. Because the experience points in this game are rather silly, for lack of a better term. So essentially, the more enemies you kill, the stronger you'll be, the more health you'll get. Down in the bottom corner there, you can see the amount of cherubs we've saved. And this is where the Metroidvania-esque strategy comes in. This is also probably where the Uprising team got their idea for the on-the-ground stages, where you're on foot for pretty much all of it. Oh, no pit. We want to go up. So, we can equip the hammer to free a cherub with the select button. We can also kill enemies with it, but you do not want to do that. That item right there is the map. And just like that, we're seeing the making of a Metroidvania. Try not to get too close. This should be... Yep, shot. So, this will draw up some more map. That's just health, which could be very useful to us. Let me see what the other one's got. The other one's got the same stuff, so we might as well just do this. And with that, we now have a torch in our item slot. And we want to get as high up as we possibly can here. You might be wondering, well, why would you want to go high up in a dungeon? Because right here is a health room. If we unlock enough cherubs. Oh, wait, no. That is an eggplant curse room. My bad. Like I said, I'm going to be pulling up a map for this. Oh, I'm not pushing any luck today. Trust me. I don't think I have very much luck to push. So, let me see here. I know the boss is down there. But I need more cherubs. So... It's also a great place to grind. So essentially, if you're looking to up pitch strength, just kill as many enemies as possible. I'm gonna want to use up all of my hammers. I believe this mechanic eventually did come back in Uprising. I'm not entirely sure though. I haven't played Uprising. Believe it or not, everybody talks about Uprising like it's the greatest game ever, and I've never actually played it. I'm waiting on a Switch port. I do have it on 3DS. You know, I actually have 2 copies because Brent owns one and I own one, so... Hammers, I believe, will let us break that wall right there. However, since there is a way around, let's just do that. Alright. I did want Kid Icarus Uprising, but it does something a little funky with itself, and I think it's neat. It uses the AR cards from the 3DS to its advantage, and they released a lot of them. You can find all of them online, and they do work, as long as you've got the image. Which is nice. Hello, Mooshman. Welcome. Alright. Make our way over here. Okay. We know where we're at. Yes, I do. I do remember when you watched the Tropical Furry stream. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry I didn't do that game a whole lot of justice. I do plan on getting back to it eventually, but there's been a lot of other games that have kind of sort of taken priority, for lack of a better term. And for me personally, I just wanted to show off Kid Icarus. Like, my birthday's coming up, I wanted to have some fun with it. We can also crouch walk in this game, which is nice. We're up to 7, which is good. There's that. Okay. Whoa, okay. The Famicom version is a little bit more forgiving in some areas. It's also a lot harder in others. So, don't think that, oh, I'm just going to play the Japanese version and have an easier time. Believe it or not, you might not. One time there was a fox. Well, I have no idea what you mean. Yeah, they hit you every frame on them. On that one. Alright, we're just gonna wait. Then I'm gonna go check my map, because I'm pretty sure I should be in the clear just to go for Medusa. Oh, yes. I don't know if any of my friends are actually free to co-host today, so it's just me for now. Actually, I know one friend who's free, but I think they're just sitting this one out, because I don't think they have a whole lot to say about Kid Icarus. I'm sure they'd ask a lot of really good questions, though. Okay. Well, I know which room I'm in, because I'm not very far down. In fact, I'm way more up than I should be. Which means I'm here, and that's the one way down that I need. It's also a room with an eggplant wizard. I should be able to get in there. Keyword being should. Because we're not. Okay. Okay, let's try the other direction then. So we're gonna have to go up and over, and then straight down. Like I said, this takes Metroid to another level. This part of the game was what changed it for me. This is what changed the game, for me at least. It turned a lot of this cryptic, nonsensical game into something worth playing. It showed me that Kid Icarus had more to offer than what I thought at first glance of a vertical scrolling NES game. Hello Victor, and hello DeAndre. Not quite sure, but welcome. How to say it. I hope you enjoy the stream today. I am looking forward to... So, in other video gamey related news, I am quite excited for the Pokemon Presents on the 27th. There's also a Battle Network challenge video that's coming out then, which I am looking forward to. At the very least, it'll be a good showcase of the BN4. Okay, yeah, that's just healing room. Gavin? Gavin. With an N, actually. But I'm okay. Nothing much is going on with me other than playing Kid Icarus. Grinding for hearts. This isn't normally how I play, by the way. Usually I'm more prepared than this. But it was kind of spur of the moment. I don't have any hammers to save him, which is a shame. You do not have to save all the cherubs. The cherubs will be saved by just beating the game. But they do make the bosses easier. And I mean substantially easier. Okay, I've made myself my way to the top. And that's what the eggplant wizard does. He turns you into an eggplant. You can no longer shoot. You can no longer shoot. You can't attack anything. You can just jump and run. It is not fun. Alright, we're actually going to go ahead and grab that. So that saved us from a death. We're gonna have to do a couple of these rooms with the eggplant wizards. Eggplant wizards might be more known from their appearance in Captain N, believe it or not, because that was one of the main villains for Kid Icarus in that show. It also had Mother Brain. I was thinking maybe I should do a DVD edition of your show. I don't think you... Okay. I'm not going to question it. I don't feel like being an inquisitive man. At least not today. I do hope everybody is enjoying today, though. I'm at least having an alright day. At the very least, I'm playing Kid Icarus, so I can't complain. I'm a bit hungry, though. I think that's part of the reason I'm not doing so hot at this game. Alright, back to the left. So this is a healing fountain. And we are now at max health. So we're gonna make our way back to the right. I hope audio's doing good, too, because I haven't... Yeah, it looks like it's doing just fine. Alright. Now we can take a couple hits, which is nice. These guys always spawn in the same pattern as the challenge room guys. So if you memorize their patterns, the patterns that show up for that, these rooms become a lot more easy. A lot easier. A lot more easy, yeah. Because I can grammar. Jethro as Azura and Jethro, welcome. Ah, dang it. I'm too busy reading chat to dodge the eggplant wizard. Alright, back to the right. Up we go. I think you can get something like 20 of these guys, 20 of the cherubs, before you actually... Armari, hello, and April, hello. Welcome. Hope you guys can drop some likes. Okay. And now here's what I mean by the cherubs help you out in this fight. Essentially, you control them shooting and yourself shooting. I don't think they really... I don't think they thought about how this guy's pattern looks. And we're gonna take him out not inside a platform. Oh, okay, so we just can't do anything with that. Hello, Tessa Millie. Welcome, welcome. We're up to 80 views today. It's a really good number, especially for Kid Icarus. And with that score, we've got another level up. And we're now on, like, the mainland. We're now on World 2, which is lovely. So... we are now in what I believe is Greece. Could be misinformed. Oh, here's a good amount of hammers. Ah. Seems like we may have mistimed it just a little bit. I would have really liked that bottle, but it's fine. This is also another really good place to grind because there's a lot of hearts, which is always a good thing in these games. Ooh, yes. We're gonna want this. I took a lot of hits during that boss fight. Remember how I said this game gets a lot easier after the first stage? Well, the first few stages are really tough. There's only 4 worlds in this game. So, we actually won't have to worry too much about dying from this moment onward. That's mostly because it becomes a horizontal platformer with things coming at you from all directions, but you're able to shoot in basically all of them, which is a lot nicer. yeah, you're stuck with some really short range at the beginning, but by the end, look at this. Oh, desert traps. Yeah, I believe this is supposed to be a desert near Greece. Doesn't have to be accurate. I actually don't know if Greece has any deserts nearby. I know a lot of Greek myths did discuss, like, Egypt and stuff in some way. I think it's amazing. Other cultures and whatnot, I think those are always the most fascinating things to me. I love learning about history and whatnot, so any chance I get to learn about another culture's history is always an interesting time for me. Like, I will actively sit and... I'll just sit and watch history TikToks. Like, just stuff that makes me feel more informed and more worldly. I just like knowing stuff. I like learning things. You do too. That's gonna be really cool when that video comes out. Especially because I like learning about video games. And a lot of video games take a lot of inspirations from, you know, the real world. And I think the real world's myths are something that I don't see a whole lot of in video games nowadays. They're always so... Video games nowadays seem a little bit more content with hyping their own selves up with their creativity, forgetting entirely the myths and stories that would have inspired that. And some of the best pieces of fiction pull from reality. Alright, we got 400. Let's head in here and see what they got. And nothing that's really going to be of use at the moment. I should have noticed before I started grinding a little bit there. We are getting near the end of the stage, though. All we have are these rock golems that are coming down from the sky. Oh, no, we're not doing that. And with that... Yeah, it took hearts to do, but we're up 5, and we got a bunch of hammers. It really is fascinating to learn about games like this. Older retro titles are usually my favorites. I love looking at the Atari and all of these older, like, NES and SNES. I love learning about the titles on there that have been forgotten by time. And I think Kid Icarus falls under that category without being super obscure. So, like, everybody knows Kid Icarus Uprising, or has at least heard of it, because Smash Brothers, right? But I don't see many people actually discuss the original NES version of Kid Icarus, or even its Game Boy sequel. In fact, most people forget the Game Boy game even exists, which is a shame. So now we're up to Strength 3. We've got a long bow, Strength 3, we can just take out things. Like I said, Metroid gets gradually a little tougher. Kid Icarus takes that difficulty curve and flips it on its head, which I think is a little weird. I like it, but it's weird. Comes one of those amazing little fun things. Alright, so we can get a hammer for 20, a goblet for 210, or a wing, which I'm definitely going to want. I think if you made a sequel to Kid Icarus today, thinking about the original games, I don't think you'd come up with a space shooter. I don't think you'd come up with a 3D shooter. I think that was more a necessity of having to use the 3D in the 3DS. Can you endure this harsh training? I think I can. I think we have the health to endure. Actually, I think if there was an SNES Kid Icarus, I think it would have been aided by the Super Nintendo's hardware. I think it would have been aided by Mode 7. I think there probably would have been flying sections. But I don't think it would have been as heavy-handed as... like, as fanciful as they were in Uprising. I think they would just be... I think they'd be Mode 7. They'd be, like, front and center on the box. I think the main challenge would come from stopping enemies. It'd be more like a hack and slash style game. Okay. So we have that. I'm going to get the magic wand. Now all we need is the fireball. Didn't want to use the wing right away. Wings will save you from bottomless pits, but they are not a get-out-of-jail-free card. Like, I mean, they kind of are a get-out-of-jail-free card, but they're not, like, awful, I guess. So this is a mystery room. Some of these are essentially... this right here is a secret room where you have to figure out what to do. I don't remember exactly what you have to do in this one, so we're just gonna leave. Thank you to the one person who is sticking around through this game. I'm sure it's a little bit of a difficult viewing experience from my gameplay. Okay, we're getting close to the next level up. Right off the bat, we have a prize room. And that's the nice thing about playing this on the NES Rewind or a modern emulator. Is that you don't have to worry about deaths quite as much, which is nice, because deaths will put you back quite far in this game. Alright, there's the first world of 2-2. Here's the second room. You notice that enemies are starting to drop a lot more larger hearts. And that is a good thing, because we'll be able to afford the better items in the shops. If I can stay alive, that is. I do hope Kid Icarus comes to... Kid Icarus Uprising comes to Switch. And I also hope Myths and Monsters comes to Switch, too, because Game Boy Online desperately needs something to bolster its library, and that seems like just the game to get, you know, some people interested in a Kid Icarus remake, especially Uprising. Especially with how accurate that Game Boy emulator is. I think that's the most impressive thing about all of that. How accurate that the Game Boy Online is. Gonna let a quick breather here. Probably gonna need a glass of water soon. Alright, another room I don't remember what exactly to do in. Cool, cool. So, those don't look like pits. I think they are considered quicksand, but they don't act anything like quicksand. I think that's the main reason behind that is the fact that Pit's wings would get stuck in sand, wouldn't they? Like, he wouldn't be able to fly. Like, all the mud and stuff would stick to him. It'd just be a struggle. Ah, there we go. Now at full health, we have little barriers. And that is what the magic rod does. like I said, this game gets quite interesting the longer you play it. Because the more you realize, oh, there's more to Kid Icarus than just the up and down underworld. Like, it is a... So just like in Zelda, it rewards you for playing it safe and not getting hit. Although sometimes that is impossible. And this little reward helps you to not get hit, which is... you know... just interesting enough on its own. Can't get it. Out into the real world. Ah. Those guys steal your treasures. You don't want to touch them. They're thieves. I don't know whether they're human or not, but they are thieves. So you can get the items back, but they're much more expensive than doing the training. The training is at least free. So it's best to just avoid them. Even if you could get hearts or hammers out of them, I don't think it's entirely worth it. Here's some blocks and platforms I think really showcase the fact that this was made by the Mario 2 team. USA, in particular. Oh, I didn't mean to fall. Alright. I like learning about Greek myths and whatnot. A really good channel for learning about storytelling and writing in general is a channel called Overly Sarcastic. They make some very good content, and I'd love to collab with them someday, so shout out to them for just being awesome people. Speaking of more awesome people, I've got another shout out to do. Some of you might be watching after the fact that I will have been in 2 different Flashing Blades videos, so I hope that the people who come from there are having a great day. I can get another wing. I think I'm gonna get a barrel. Oh, I didn't get to read it all. Okay. Barrel. Got it. Not worth it. We're gonna grab a bottle. Still not entirely sure what the barrel does. At least I know what the bottle does. It's like a potion from Zelda. Oh man. Oh, the chat's been doing alright. I know that my gameplay on this game is a little sparse. Like, it's not quite as It's not like top tier gameplay like it usually is for a lot of these games. That's just because Kid Icarus is a different breed of game. I don't play it as often as every other NES title. Like, usually I'm playing, like, Mega Man, or I'm playing Sonic on the Genesis or Master System. Meanwhile, Kid Icarus is just kind of there. It's one of those games that I didn't grow up with a whole lot. I don't have a lot of memories with it. My dad didn't own it growing up when he was a kid, so I don't have any stories there. I don't have the history with this game. And I think that is very evident in the fact that this game didn't actually do all too great on NES or Game Boy. In fact, the only reason it sold well at all for the first game was because there was a little show called Captain N that came out. I just wanted to get rid of all the enemies on the screen. Specifically the Cyclops. But Captain N had Kid Icarus as a character. And I mean Kid Icarus because he didn't call himself Pit. Because I don't think they read the manual. And I don't think they wanted to call him Pit. Which is fine. I mean, I get it. A lot of NES games had their main character's name as the title of the game. Super Mario Brothers, Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, of course, there's a lot of retro titles did that. So, of course, you know, a bunch of adults who don't really play NES games are going to call him Kid Icarus. He's a kid, and he's based on Icarus. Speaking of Icarus, Icarus is one of those stories that you hear passed around a lot. However, did you know that it's a tragedy? They say don't fly too close to the sun, Icarus. And don't fly to the... so essentially, Icarus is the story of a boy and his father fleeing from or to Greece across a lake or an ocean or something of that sort. They make wax wings, and they tell Icarus and the boy, and Icarus and his father, don't fly too close to the ocean, you'll be swallowed by monsters. Don't fly too close to the suns, or the wax wings shall melt. However, once flying, the sun has too much fun flying too close to flying all the way there. They're fleeing from the law, if I remember correctly, but I can't be certain because it's been a number of years since I've read it. But essentially, what ends up happening is Icarus's wings melt because he flew too close to the sun, and then he was swallowed by a kraken on his way down to the ocean. And the father is left to mourn the death of his son. So when people say when people pass around the idiom of calling people Icarus, it means don't be too greedy. Don't take what you have for granted, which is a very important lesson. Now, why is Pit called Kid Icarus? I believe it's because he can't fly. Because these are wax wings. They're fake. They're not real. He's an angel. He's a child. But he's flown too close to the sun, and now he's been casted down to the netherworld, and has to work his way back up to be a hero that the world knows he can be. Or, well, heaven knows he can be. I think it's called I don't know what it's called in the game, but it's not heaven, because they couldn't get away with the religious references. However, I'm sure the Famicom manuals just says, you know, whatever the Greek equivalent of heaven is. Because I do know that they had different terminology for a lot of things, and a lot of what we know about mythology is skewed in a more Christian sense, which is really interesting when you think about it. So now we have the training. think we've got more than enough health to survive. I'm not worried about the small hearts here. I'm just trying to get the enemy kills. Alright, so it's well done, Pit. Take your pick. So we've already got that and that. We need the fire. And with that, we have all three of the mystical items. And all we need to do is refill our health to activate it. We're also getting quite full on our hearts, so... Hope everybody watching is having a great time so far. I know I'm having fun. This is a good game to show off. I really wish more people would experience this title. Like, you don't even have to make it past the underworld with very much stuff to actually, you know, do well in this game. It's all about just kind of winging it, which is really cool. I wish I could take multiple items from the shop, but you can't do that. Game says no. It said no to fun. I'm glad it doesn't have the obnoxious. It doesn't have an obnoxious beeping sound when you're at low health, because you're going to be at low health for a lot of this game, especially if you're playing it kind of recklessly like me. Okay. Yeah, I figured I was gonna get hit there. This game's platforming is really tight. I actually think the controls are a lot like Mega Man in many cases. Yeah, the shooting has a slight delay to it, kind of like Castlevania, but it's not bad. None of it feels bad to play. In fact, I think Kid Icarus is one of those early-ish NES titles that I think actually feels fantastic, even playing it now. Hello, Foxy, welcome. Sorry for not saying the last name, just not quite sure how to pronounce it, and if it's pronounced the way I think it is, I really don't wanna, I don't feel like it. But welcome! Hope you're having a good day. Of course, we have more thieves here in a graveyard. Also, another interesting, curious little thing. We have an instance of a graveyard in an NES title with crosses, which is interesting because oftentimes Nintendo's own censorship would be on that. Like, they'd clear that up instantly. I don't know why they didn't do that for this. Because I am playing the NES Online version, which would be the official version that was released back in the day for the NES. I'm assuming it's 100,000? 10,000? I don't know. Zeros kind of blend together for me. Well, it's nice to meet you. I hope you stick around and subscribe. I've been playing video games on this channel for quite some time. I love game lore. I love teaching people about interesting facts about these old titles. And new ones, too. I dabble in a little bit of everything. I just prefer the old NES games. Something about them just make me happy. Also, this theme is just... This theme needs more remixes. Like... Ugh. I know the main reason most people would know of Kid Icarus is from Cat Icarus, which is an internet reviewer who does some really funny skits on the platform. Another person I'd love to work with, honestly. Ah. There we go. see if we got another level up on our way. We're getting close to the end, so I predict that we won't be seeing very many more level ups. But we're finally at the end of World 2. With one of the largest maps I have seen in this game. We have 14 hammers, though, so... This game also has some very interesting in-game storytelling. I think it's one of the earliest NES games to actually tell its story through its gameplay, at the very least. Because freeing cherubs with hammers and seeing Medusa at the end is very telling, all on its own. But this game has something else to it. I'm gonna figure out where I'm at real fast while I check the map. Okay. Well, I don't need to know that. Let's see here. So that's the thing about this game, is the maps are a little confusing. Seeing as we've got 2 of those in a row, it spawned me somewhere near the middle. I think. Figuring out exactly where I'm at is a little tricky. There we are. So, that room, that room. So then, the next room after this should be a shop. Alright. I am going... do I want the HP or do I want the torch? I think I'm going to take the torch. So it went from shop to over here. This is one of those dungeons where it's a little tough. Okay, I don't need to know all of this. And if you're not going to stop, I am going to put you in timeout, please. This is a family-friendly stream, and I don't exactly know what you're trying to do. Or what you're trying to get at. Okay. Read my jump game. This is the tricky bit. Wait for now. I'd much prefer to keep the chat in a more healthy, neutral state. But we've already had one strange encounter for the day. It worked. The edges sometimes don't have a hitbox. It can take a second for it to figure out exactly where you're at. Seems my controller is running a bit low on battery. Well, then go ahead and remove it if you feel you must. I don't mind a little bit for a thought exercise, I just don't want that to be littered throughout my entire chat. It's not appropriate for YouTube, and it's not really appropriate for the channel. I don't mind a little bit of tomfoolery, but tomfoolery is tomfoolery, and I won't excuse it for anything less. We've already had one person message something in chat that I had to take care of, like, pretty much immediately. Like, this is a gaming YouTube channel, like, come on, guys. I play retro games, I don't do anything else, really. I research these things. Alright, so we made our way up from there, so we went to the right, left, up, left. I think we went left and then up, because we had to. Okay, so we want to go... up, up, and then left yet again. Oh, it's nothing to worry about. It's well and taken care of. It was just some troll. I don't wish to pay it any mind. Honestly, with the amount of rudeness on the platform, I feel like if I paid it any mind, I wouldn't really get anywhere. I've been getting better at handling these things, and it's important for me to just kind of stay neutral. Alright, so we can get a hammer, we can get a drink. I'm gonna get the bottle because I know there is a... Hello, Vincent. Welcome. Because I know there is a... I know that we're not... Oh, does that wrap her all the way around? No, that's not even a ladder. What am I thinking? Reuse of a room. Does it wrap around? Gosh, no. It seems like something was dropped off in the mail. Give me one moment, folks. Well, that was a bit odd. I don't think I've ever seen somebody walk up to the front door, not knock. They left food. They didn't drop off any food. Yeah, they did. Wait, you passed through the living room? Oh.
I got myself food. I didn't want to walk through.
I'm still on.
You're streaming.
Yeah, I'm still on, so. Anyways.
Yeah, that's... Yeah,
Have fun. Have fun. I've got to get back to it. Alright, back to the stream. So, I'm up here. The boss is... Where is the boss? Down over... There's a shop there. There's two different places to remove that. Oh, there it is. So that's all the way down there. It's on the opposite end of where we are. But I'd like to, you know, use up all my hammers. I think the invincibility frames from that little guy helped just a bit. Another reuse of this room. So I need to... How do I get there? So left, down, left, left, up, 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 left, up. So I suppose... we pause from there, we go left. We won't take anything there. I mess up the timing there. But now I am... So we went from empty room, left to down. So we're going to need to go down and then all the way over to the right. Ooh. There we go. So now we've freed all three of them. So... I can head straight down and to the right, or I can go... Yeah, I think straight down and to the right's going to be our best bet here. Let me check the chat. Okay. Odd messages aside, I hope everybody's having a fun time watching Kid Icarus. Okay. I'm out of hammers now, so all we gotta do now is go to the boss. Our best bet is to come all the way over here, past this room, oh, okay, yeah, this is what I mean by it's a Metroidvania. You can really go in any direction, and it kinda forces you to map things out. It's a lot like Zelda in that way, which I think is fascinating. So I can't go up there. There's no way to go up here. So I have to go up from here. And the first set's really small. This one's kind of large, like a huge labyrinth. As you can see, the walls, the cherubs that blocked our path beforehand got turned into brick after we freed the cherubs. Actually, how far back can I go? Might as well just keep going around then. That would have been a smarter move back when I first realized that I couldn't do that. I mean, at least there's a full heal up this way. It's just... gonna be just a bit of a hassle getting back to where we were. Back to where we need to go. Boss has 200 health. Oh boy. Alright, then we head down here. So now that we're back in this room, we just need to go... left, down, and around? Or... yeah. Or... well... we're gonna go right, down, and around. Okay, so if we went from there, we went right, down, right. And now I need to go... up and then to the right. See, this is the tricky bit, is figuring out a good path for the stage. But it seems like... okay. Well, seeing as I have to make it over on this side of this room, I have to come at this from a different angle. I have to come at this from a very different angle than what I want to. Because I don't have any, like, helpful flying agents to help me out. So, looks like I'm heading this way and then back to the right. Oh, I keep thinking I could jump through the floor, but I really can't in any of these spots. Okay. Back through a zigzaggy room. Okay, so we went... oh, wait, am I all the way up there? I think I'm all the way up there. I guess the next room will prove that to me. No, I'm in this room. I think. And it means the only way to go is down. Left and up. left and onward. Onward and upward. I am going to have to switch the NES controller that I'm using with a different one, because this one's about to die. Okay, I want the goblet, because we've already got a torch. Foxy, if you could please stop role-playing in chat, it's turning off other people from chatting, and I'm sure it's making me at least quite uncomfortable. Okay. To the right, then straight down. There's where that cherub would have been. There's another one, but I can't save it because I don't have any of the hammers. I like these little not Goomba looking guys. I think a lot of the enemies are a little silly like that, because I believe there's also Metroids in this game. Which really goes to show you. Okay, so now all we gotta do is make our way up. That is both situations of what I didn't want to do. Making sure my mic's on, because I can never tell. Any of the cherubs that you can leave to survive will follow you into the next world, if I remember correctly. So if we can at least have one, that'll be great. I've only ever beaten NES Kid Icarus one time. So doing it here on stream would be a real treat for you guys. So as you can see, only the head gets damaged. One more hit. Alright. Please stop trying to roleplay in my chat. I'm sure it's making other people uncomfortable as much as it's making me uncomfortable. We have made it to the Highlands. With World 3-1, there's 4 levels here, and then we move right from there onto the final boss section. And this is what the fireball does. It adds a wave beam effect to your arrow, which I think makes it a little bit more powerful than the wave beam, because you still have that straight shot. Meanwhile, the wave beam in Metroid kind of sort of misses, at least in the NES game sometimes. I find the ice beam is necessary to beat that game. And, you know. So these are evil cherubs, cast or brainwashed by Medusa. Don't worry, I'm sure Palutena will be able to fix it. Because yes, even Palutena was introduced in this first NES title. In fact, believe it or not, I do believe Palutena was part of the original Greek myths. But not as powerful as she is in any of Nintendo's mythology. We have these blocks that are very reminiscent of Metroids. Took him out. There we go. I do like the way that this game handles its enemies, though. They're all very interesting. There's a little demon. Okay. Didn't mean to take damage there, but another secret room. I don't exactly remember what to do there. You can look up a Nintendo Power magazine to figure that out if you'd like. There we go. That little live casting thing at the top there gets a little malfunctiony. Remember what I said about the ground being, any ground that you see below you that gets moved by the screen is no longer there? You really do have to keep that in mind, especially in these later stages where the platforming is really tricky. Feathers are incredibly useful resources in this late into the game. I would like to use them. However, I don't have any. And I really don't want to game over. I think anyone who plays this game, though, knows how difficult it can be. And I don't think save states should be shamed in that regard. Yes, it's impressive to do it without, you know, rewinds or save states. Can you endure this harsh training? I think we can. Should be ending here soon. Hope the chat's been enjoying the stream so far. Sorry for getting a little fussy there, but, you know. Well done, Pint. Take your pick. We already have all 3 items, but it is always good to show it off. We have one more treasure to get. There is this, yes, and here's the Metroids! Yes, and this was why it was important to tag Metroid in with this. Because Metroids are part of this game. Same team and all. A little bit of cross-promotion. It didn't come out of nowhere. I think I'm going to take the hammer. Just gonna stand up here. I know I could technically wrap around and grab that platform a little sooner, but I feel like it's a little easier to play it safe. It is also easier to just hit down on the wrong platform. Get the little repeats after us. This is another stage that I think. But why? Because I said no roleplay in the chat. I said no. I said please stop talking about your weight and all of that in chat, Foxy, but you did not, so I timed you out. If you wish for it to be a longer ban, then so be it. We can make that happen. Well, you don't need to spread that love over here in the chat. It's not appropriate for YouTube, and it's not appropriate for my channel. I don't like getting super serious with my videos, especially not in this manner, but I will when I need to. So please, don't suck the fun out of the game just because you feel like being incredibly strange on main. Because I can't say the real thing on YouTube. I'm not going to shame your likes, but I am going to say, please keep it out of my chat. I like to keep my YouTube channel running, please. And if I can't keep the chat clean, then YouTube can, in fact, will put a strike on my channel. And I don't want that. I don't need that. That's a headache that I don't need. I've got enough stress going on outside of YouTube that I prefer not to get into. Because my personal life can get a little bit strange. Very chaotic. So, I believe it's one of these stages. You can get turned into an eggplant wizard, and you'll end up having to go back to stage 3 looking for a doctor. Or stage 2. Back on the overworld. I don't remember if this is one of the more expensive NES titles. I know it was a later release for, like middle of the road for NES games. And I know it was one of Nintendo's lesser-selling titles, because much better-looking games were coming out in the States at the time. Specifically stuff like Mega Man and Mario 2. So, if I remember correctly, this is one of the NES's more expensive titles, believe it or not. But I mean, I don't think anyone's really out there trying to get Kid Icarus unless they're a big fan of, like, Uprising. And even then, I think NES Online's still your better bet in playing this. Alright, I am going to go ahead and get the drink one more time. And up we climb. Man, this music is just really cheery and happy. I like it. I like a lot of the NES art as well for this game. The Game Boy art digitized it a lot more. It had very flat colorizations and things. However, the NES art, while the box art had a flat color version, at least in Japan, the manual was all well-drawn, hand-done illustrations with colored pencil and, you know, it had this really pretty colored pencil style. It was very simple. It was like a Saturday morning, like, newspaper where you're looking at the funnies. It was really cute. And I know you're going, who says funnies? What are you, like 80? I'm like, yeah, probably. Oh, right. It doesn't link over there to anything. Alright. So I think the next game on the list of things I want to do is probably going to be... Okay, I can't do anything here. I think the next game I should probably cover for this channel is probably Virtual Boy Wario Land. I need to continue that series. If not Mega Man, probably. And if I do Mega Man, though, I'm going to be doing multiple Mega Man games in one video. So. Alright. And now we are at 3-4, the final Metroidvania stage, and the biggest one in the game. This probably took up all of the space on the cartridge. We've only got 3 hammers, and the boss still has 200 health. So I think first what we're going to do is figure out where the boss is and where we are. So, I would love to show you guys the map for this, because this is incredibly daunting to try and do. Alright. So we've got that right there. So that's a zigzag room. We just need to find that and that. There we go. We found where we are at on the map. Now I just have to find where the boss is. There are 2 different... Oh, up there. So if we go right up... Oh, so we're going to have to go... We're going to have to go up to the left. Alright, well, that's not a problem. So what we have to do is we have to go up here and then up to the left. Or at least as far left as we can go. Alright, so the only way to get there is from that. Okay, let's go ahead and free this chair real fast. Oh, well, there's the map. I think I'm going to show off the pencil now, whenever I can get to a shop again, if I have enough for it. I'm really not going to grind in this area because it's just too dangerous to do. So... can't get over there, so we have to go down, because that door doesn't lead anywhere. So we've gone down, down. Nearest place to go left is here. Now we're in another zigzag room. And it looks like we can head... We want to head up, up, and then to the left. Figuring out where to go in a Metroidvania is always the trickiest part, and that's why I like having a map on me. Oh, wait. Oh, I still have to go up one more and then... Ugh. So many crossing movements. So we have to get up there. So the way we do is we go down and then left, because you can't jump that high. What? Hang on. How am I supposed to... Oh, up, then... Yeah, okay. Up and down, then left. Then up. And now we go up and then to the right. But yes, I'm gonna have a video coming out later this week about why, about video game lore and why it's important. Because some people recently have been... Someone that runs 4 to 5 YouTube channels recently put out a video, and it kind of irked me. And I think the pessimism behind that is a good reason to put out a little bit more optimism into this world. Especially about video game lore and how it can help and be important, and why even when certain things make sense, you can still have fun trying to make sense of it. Which is something I have a lot of fun with on this channel. Oh, I don't even know for the goblet. But I wouldn't be able to get back up here any other way. Sacred words. It's like a password. That's all it is. And that'll respawn me back at the beginning of the dungeon. So I've got two options. So I fall down here. I can get back over to the life pole. But then I have to go all the way around to try and, you know, keep my stuff. So it can just be... a little bit easier to do this damageless. And tackle the last stage fair and square. I do wish my power-ups stayed on for the boss fights. But I get it. I understand. They want more of a challenge, and these guys would go down really easy with the shield. And with that fireball effect, and really long range, then you'd be put in no danger whatsoever from most of these fights. I guess that would be a good way to recontextualize this game. It has a lot of the weird shooter elements from like something like Gradius, but it's also very different and very much its own thing. Pause here. Go. Pausing is nice because I could go back and check on the chat, see how everyone's doing. Sorry again for all the deleted messages. I just would prefer if my chat stayed at least within the realm of safe for work. Because I would really not like. I really don't need a strike on my channel for something somebody else did. Hello, Raymond. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Emulation NES, this is the Switch Online, so yes, it is emulation. However, it is official emulation because I just felt like using my actual Switch Online NES controller. I just think NES games feel better with the actual NES controller, whether it be the Dogbone or the Switch Online one, or... Really, I think most Nintendo games feel better when I use a real controller with them. Plus, I wanted to show off Metroid's brother series, in a way, because Samus would be the sister. Kid Icarus is a lot like Metroid in many ways. At least the first Metroid. It got a sequel, and that sequel was on the Game Boy. Super Metroid got a SNES sequel, but as well, like, Metroid got Super Metroid. Kid Icarus never got that. But then they both had comebacks on the 3DS. So it's very, very much a alternate take on the series. Which I think is quite nice. Since we have all the parts, Pit equipped himself with the 3 treasures. And here it is. This is the final stage. We've got a shield. We've got a shot. We can shoot in any direction. If you've got any of the cherubs left, they will come with you and fly with you in the boss fight for this stage. This is one of those levels where it's not many people. Am I a milk drinker? Not since school. If that's trying to be an insult, I'm confused. I mean, I know milk isn't great for the human body. Alright. And I haven't had to switch out my controller yet, which is quite nice. So we want to save onto as much HP as we can for this boss fight coming up again. The A button doesn't really do anything. Pit is always oscillating up and down. So, be wary of your hitbox, but you can basically move around any direction in this stage. Which I think this is the true inspiration for Kid Icarus Uprising's flying levels. But Here it's only one stage, which I feel makes a little bit more sense within Icarus. Since this is a story about him, you know, growing. Especially since Kid Icarus probably just stands for the fact that it is Child of Icarus. Of course, we got these weird blocks. I do think the sprite work here is quite nice, and storming the palace at night is a beautiful starscape. I do wish there was more stars in the sky, but I also understand keeping the NES limits, you know, keeping to the NES limits to make it run nicely. But a colored starry sky, I think it's really pretty. Alright, we're just about to Medusa now. Hope everybody's enjoyed this lovely little 2-hour ride or so. Making sure that my little stream capture thing is caught up with me, because if it's not caught up, then I can't be sure it's still running properly. Oh boy, and we're coming down to the wire here. Down and over. I do think this track's really nice. I don't think it's the best track in the game. I still think World 3, hands down. World 2 or 3 has some of the best music in this game. But it's got the same, like, motifs and stuff. I do think this game is quite well done. I'd love to see an official remake or a fan-made remake of this game that just irons out all of its littler flaws, changes up the room layouts in the mansions, makes more cherubs collectible. I would like to see that all of the cherubs that you've saved, you know, fly with you at the very end. That would be really, really cool. Alright. Here it is. Boss fight time. And that's Medusa. She tosses giant snakes at us. Of course, we can still move around the screen, but we are a lot slower than her. All of the struggle. gonna spam the attack. I think I've encountered a blind spot. Sorry for all the flashing, guys. Guess I could say it kind of comes with the territory. This being an NES game and all. And there is Medusa. Out from the eye of the beast, we have saved Angel Land. And, saved Palutena. And with that, Pit is now a member of the Royal Guardians. I don't remember what gives you the other endings in this game, because there are other endings. Medusa is destroyed in the light of peace, returned to Angel Land. But in order to maintain peace, Pit's struggle continues. So I think I didn't do it fast enough. There is a speed element to this game, just like in Metroid, where you have to beat it kind of sort of fast. I stopped for just about everything. However, that is every stage in the game. I beat it, which is good. I'd like to show off Myth and Monsters next and show you guys how it differs. But that's going to be for another time, I'm sure. I do hope everybody enjoyed this. Oh, this soundtrack is just very pretty. I advise you guys to go look up the soundtrack and try out this game. If you don't really find it's your thing, that's fair, but give it a go anyways. It's an NES game that deserves a little bit of something. When you push start button, you start up with all your power-ups, and it lets you go again. You can really maximize your strength, grind for enemies. It really is an endless game where high score is the main takeaway, but there is a bit more to it. So with that, I'd say I think I'm finished as well. So everybody, thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please drop a like, subscribe, and if you want to see more from me, follow me on Twitter at GavinDragonYT, and join the Telegram or Discord down in the description below. With all that being said, guys, you can also donate to the PayPal on your screen. There will be stuff on your screen to click on after this is finished processing. And I'll see you guys next time, whenever that may be. I've been your humble host. Good night, everybody.